I never planned to lose my virginity at 17, and especially not behind the rusty school tank, just close to the girls' dormitory. But that one night changed my entire life. Yeah, it changed everything. Underscore. I actually attended a federal girls' boarding school. Not like it was my choice, but I had no say. My parents were feeling pressured to send me to a boarding school just because, the way other parents were sending their kids. I literally remember begging my dad and mom, but they were like, underscore. Your mates are in boarding school. What's wrong with you? I was sent to take the federal examination, but I purposely failed, and I don't know how my parents still worked it out. Seriously, after failing the examination, underscore, I felt so relief. But that was when my dad came home one day and was like, start packing your bag. You're leaving next week. That was the first time. I felt so down. My life was crumbling before my eyes, and my parents just decided to choose their ego over me. I begged my mom, but she was just telling me to go because she told her friends already that her daughter has been admitted into a boarding school. You know, Ian, that time underscore boarding school was like the new trend. Parents were just sending their children to boarding schools, even if they were no reasons, just to feel among or maybe feel like rich parents. And that was the situation that I was trapped in. I was sent to a boarding school in a different state. It was so far away. I came home once in a while. Life was tough and sad. I wasn't comfortable. I couldn't live my life, just like any normal day school student. And I missed my siblings so much. As the first child, I was always wishing that none of my siblings would attend a boarding school. Have ever had a boyfriend, which I replied no to every single one of her stupid questions. My life was in a cycle. I travel home from home to school, underscore just a back and forth thing, and I had no time for that. She started teaching me why it is so important to have one. Like I was so naive. She could easily sell me off at that time, if she wanted to underscore, because I knew absolutely nothing. She started teaching and showing me things that I wasn't supposed to learn in the first place. Started narrating what she does when she has sexual urges, and she started taking me to different hideouts. Of course, I was scared at first, but later on, I got used to everything. Until the day she asked me to try it out. I was so scared. I refused again and again, but this girl insisted. I wasn't close to my mom and dad. I knew no one in the school, underscore, so I just couldn't pull myself away from Cynthia. She even went to the extent of bullying me when she found out that I wasn't going to do it peacefully. Life was so tough and scary. Cynthia and her friends planned the night that I would be disvirgined. I was so scared, and don't think that I didn't try to stop it by reporting to higher authorities. But these girls were in the way every single time. They slept with both the male and female teachers, or administrators, and those kind of reports ended right in their offices. And it wasn't even visiting or call day. I couldn't inform anyone, underscore not even my mother. It's not like. There was something more to what a day school can do, but my parents never listened to me. In my dormitory, I saw a lot of things. Like I mentioned, it was a girls' boarding school underscore, so there were no guys. I can clearly count how many girls were into lesbianism, and this wasn't the future that I planned for myself. There was a lot of pressure from many people, but I decided to keep pushing and not look at the situation until I got to SS3, Senior Secondary 3. That was when everything changed. I met this girl underscore. Let's just call her Cynthia. Cynthia was like one of the prefects in school, then I think sanitary prefect. She was my classmate, but in a different class. We had like SS3A to E, and she was in Class C, but I was in Class A. And here's how we met. There was this heavy rain one time, and we were asked to vacate and stay with the other students in the other dormitory, like share a space with another student. Before I got the notice, X everywhere was filled up already, and I had nowhere to go. It was so scary, especially if you had nowhere to sleep. I slept outside once as a punishment for sleeping in one of the night classes that I attended. And my God, it was a very scary night. Cynthia's space was free, and I asked her for help just to stay for a while, maybe just that night because I couldn't sleep outside again. She actually agreed, which felt weird. Yes, I wanted her to let me stay, but replying positively at my first request felt somehow. I honestly prayed that she wasn't a lesbian. The night I slept with her was when everything began. This dormitory was always noisy, unlike my former dormitory, which was absurd, but she told me that this dorm was for hot-headed girls. Like, I knew it. She started conversations with stupid topics like N, itch. If I remember this situation, underscore, I just go blank because underscore. I was almost graduating when all these things started happening to me. I am still shocked. Those girls, like underscore, they pushed me to my doom until this day. I can never forgive them. That night, they pushed me behind the rusty water tank and asked me to wait. And when I tried to move underscore, she threatened to kill me right there. Remember? She had her girls, or what I call them gang beside her, obeying every single one of her command. That night, a man ran into the place and asked if I was the package. Package? I couldn't understand what he meant. It was so familiar, but I was so scared to recognize him. I cried so much and asked him to leave me, but this guy forced himself on me. That night was so painful. Till date, I haven't healed from that. After that night, this girls applauded me and announced that another guy would be visiting soon. I couldn't cry or complain. I wanted to go home, but I couldn't. I faked getting sick, and that was when the worst happened. To be continued.